What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, June 15th, 2019, 10:31 p.m. Eastern Time. Bitcoin struggling at $9,000. Wouldn't be the first time. We can real quickly, at the intro here, we can see this daily candle on May 30th, 2019, a couple weeks ago, slightly above 9,000 and seeing some resistance. I guess the question we can ask ourselves in this live stream is the same thing going to happen? Are we going to see resistance here? Resistance here could be interesting in terms of creating for us, Bitcoin creating for us, a pattern, a new pattern, which we're going to talk about in this live stream. Appreciate everybody coming by. Poseidon Lou, I can see in the chats, already having some fun. I see, already having some fun with that wrench. Everybody, if you're a replay viewer, I know these live streams are long. I haven't been doing live streams a lot, but in this one, a timestamp below in the comments if you want to go right to the pinned pinned comment with the timestamps. You can kind of go throughout the video as you see fit. But right now, I'm just going to give it a couple minutes as we go live here. Bitcoin on the daily. If you haven't seen the charts, here we go. Just below $9,000. Everybody that's in crypto, I feel like, is watching Bitcoin right now, watching the charts. You won't believe this, but I even brought up the minute. I brought up the 1 minute chart because I saw Bitcoin just breaking above 9,000. And sometimes it's fun to bring up the 1 minute chart just to watch the candles. It's like watching a fireworks show, and it didn't happen. I was let down immediately. And I'm doing a live stream about $9,000 and might be let down within the next half hour as well. You really shouldn't watch a pot boil. It just takes longer. You really should not watch a pot boil. So, what's up, Benjamin? Bobby Crypto. What is up, everybody? In this video, look at this green screen. It's terrible looking on it. What's it doing? It's a shadow. Let's start on Twitter. Just tweeted a little bit ago. I think this is really when it started, almost an hour ago. Bitcoin wrestling with 9,000 right now. Let's go. I know I shouldn't tweet that. It doesn't help the cause. And then we tweeted just after that. Bitcoin broke above 9,000 on November 26, 2017. 3 weeks prior to the bull market all-time high. And I want to talk about this. 3 weeks prior to, $20,000 Bitcoin was breaking above $9,000 for the first time. And I ended the tweet by saying this time around it's happening, and the massive bull market ahead of us has not even begun. We're not even there yet. And I want to look at that real quick on the chart. So probably I'm thinking the daily chart would be best. Let's go to the daily and zoom out a little bit. So here we are over here. Let's scroll over to the last bull market. And we can really see. What was the date November 26th, 2019. And here we go. Right here. Boom. Right there. November 26th, 2019. From that point, Bitcoin seeing, over 100% gains up to a $20,000 area. Many people remember that. And what's really fun about this is that happening. $9,000 being broken was at the very top of, look at this bull market here. Look at this sustained series of higher highs and higher lows. It's really what defines the bull market. It's really what allows us to look back in the past and say, hey, that was the bull market. That's what it looks like, right? That $9,000 being broken was pretty much at the end of the bull market, towards the end of the bull market. And it's pretty incredible to me, if you really want to put perspective on what's going on right now, is if we look at where we are, we're just coming out of a bear market. And I don't even really like to put the title of bull market on Bitcoin just yet. I really don't. We haven't had that consistent sustainability and these consistent higher highs and higher lows in the market yet. It hasn't been long enough. I mean, we need a series of this happening for months. And so we're just exiting a bear market, a grueling bear market, and we're at $9,000. We're at this area where Bitcoin was kind of running out of steam. The bulls were running out of breath around this area, right? They had one more final shot of hurrah. They had one more hurrah left in them to kind of just break up to $20,000 within a few weeks, and then it was just kind of, you know, it was game over after that. It was consolidation after that. So appreciate that, LTC Perosi. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, everybody. So it's really awesome to watch Bitcoin at $9,000. We have a huge, long road ahead of us in terms of the bull market, in terms of exciting gains, in my opinion. You know, anything can happen, but that's just my opinion. And this is just the beginning, and we're at $9,000. And I was sitting here, I was like looking at the charts, kind of just relaxing tonight with Sarah, and I was like, you know, I feel like every $1,000 of Bitcoin is like this historical moment, right? And so I was like, I gotta track it. I want to be able to track. I want to be able to record it, have it on record, live, right? So I don't know what's gonna happen here on this live stream. What's up, Steven? But I wanted to at least document live this happening, right? And you really can see it happening since May 26th or so, Bitcoin really testing 9,000. So we're going to jump into technical analysis a little bit in this video. So speaking of technical analysis, I tweeted this. This was earlier today around 3 p.m. Eastern. I said, if Bitcoin makes a similar move to May 9th, then blast off through 10K. So here's the picture on my tweet. Here's May 9th back there in the middle of the screen. And we're going to talk about that on the 4-hour chart. I would say that's probably the biggest reason I wanted to go live right now, besides just being able to go live as we're wrestling around the $9,000 mark. So let's jump into the charts. First things first, weekly chart. You know, we talk about the weekly, and I want to preface this video, whether you're here right now, you're live, or if you're a replay viewer, what we're going to see in terms of technical analysis and data and charts and patterns and moving averages and momentum oscillators, all that stuff. There is a very fine mix right now of at some points of data, we're going to see things are looking extremely bullish, but at some, they kind of look a little bearish. I would say right now, it's kind of like 70% more bullish, 30% bearish, but you're going to see the mix, and we're going to break it down right now. Benjamin says, I don't know about you, but after 1.5 years of stress, it's an exciting time being a part of your channel since the beginning of the bear market, and now we go all together in the green. Benjamin, dude, you're the man. Thank you for the super chat for LAUNCHPAD Foundation, and appreciate you've been here so long. And I agree. I can't wait to meet so many of you that, you know, went through that bear market, you know, alongside me on this channel as we're doing videos almost every day. It's incredibly awesome and exciting. And it's nice. 9K. Matt Merkel says, while we're waiting on 9K, I'm trying to transfer Bitcoin off Binance. They're saying I have to verify, but USA isn't an option for a country. Are we still able to transfer off Binance? Matt, I think you have like a month or so. Somebody might know this in the chats. If you could, you have time. You don't have to get out of Binance just like immediately. I don't think. But yeah, you should be able to. And if anybody knows the exact dates, post it in the chat. I actually don't know off the top of my head. So let's look at weekly. Let's look at the weekly. So bullish, bearish at the end of this live stream. If you want, you know, you can make your decision how you're feeling about the markets. On the weekly chart, one of the things I want to talk about, you see here, RSI resistance. And I wish I could change my, I definitely need to change my, I'm trying to find my cursor. I don't know where it is on this thing. And I know I should have, here it is. I want to try and make this bigger or a better color. Maybe white. Here we go. That's better. Now we're talking. I think some people have had some trouble seeing my cursor, but now I think it's pretty clear. So RSI resistance is one thing I want to talk about on the weekly. You know, we can talk all day. Mexican Charlie, $1.99 super chat. Don't forget LTC Lisa raffle. Good call, dude. I'll bring that up. Try and remind me on the end of the live stream, but I definitely will bring it up. I'll head over to Twitter and we'll check that out. I definitely want to shill that raffle a little bit. Thank you for the super chat, dude. We can talk all day about where we are in terms of the bear market exit, similar to the last bear market, right? There are so many similarities. If you want to try and find the exact week that is exactly harmonious with back here in that last bear market, you can find so many consistencies in different areas of this chart back here. But I think one thing is true. We've had a couple higher highs out of this bear market bottom, similar to what happened out of the last bear market bottom. So identifying whether or not we're like right here or we're right here, you can kind of just waste your time all day doing that. I kind of wasted my time doing that a lot. Right now, what I'm trying to do is more importantly, I'm trying to find, coming out of the bottom, you see Bitcoin formed a nice continuation pattern, a very bullish continuation pattern. This ascending triangle, right, on the weekly chart is really bullish looking when you're looking back at it. So right now, I'm kind of trying to see what is Bitcoin doing in terms of patterns. What kind of pattern is going to be forming here? Right now, you just have this parabolic looking chart, and that's why I've been looking for consolidation. Consolidation after swing highs is the very beginning of an essential pattern, right? And then we start getting more clues into what Bitcoin is doing. So I've been waiting for something like that. Thank you, Tony, for the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate you. Your name is new. I appreciate you being here. So that's one reason I've been looking for consolidation, and I'm looking to see what pattern forms, a bullish pattern. I truly believe we're going to have a bullish pattern when we're looking back at these charts in years from now. We're going to see some type of crazy symmetrical triangle, maybe, an ascending triangle like we had out of that last bear market. I don't know. But it's one thing I'm tracking. In terms of momentum, right? I want to open up the RSI, this middle area right here on the screen right here. It's the slower moving momentum oscillator. It's so telling in terms of differentiating bull markets from a bear market. It tells us so much. It offers so many clues. If you're long term in these markets, it is the best in terms of accumulating. It is actually without fail 100% consistent thus far. And I think, when we were down here, we said, listen, there's no guarantees, but if you're going to go crazy accumulating Bitcoin, now would be the time, because historically on the RSI on a weekly chart, it's the best time to accumulate, right? Especially after a bear market. So the RSI, if you're long, it almost feels like cheating, right? Anytime when the RSI is in the oversold, you really get an idea of what kind of market we're in. Every time we're in overbought, you get an idea. And when you're looking back at the charts and you see it, you're like, yeah, duh, it makes sense. But when you're actually there and you're in it or at the beginning of it, it's hard because you don't see what's ahead, right? There's always the what if possibility. So let's talk about where we are on this momentum oscillator. Let's talk about where Bitcoin momentum is on the RSI, right? And here it is. We have this line here. And if you look at this line in context too, it's like 70 to 75 on the RSI. If you look at it in terms of the last bull market, it's pretty much where Bitcoin just hung out most of the time, pretty much the whole time. It wrapped itself around that 70 line, 70, 75 line, whether we're slightly below it in these very important areas of accumulation or retracements. I say accumulation because that's my accumulation action plan, buying the dips, and those dips are big, everybody. We're talking about 35% dip right there in that month, right? Because these are weekly charts, and you can see consolidation on the RSI. But it's not the end of a bull market. It's just a consolidation phase to continue uptrend with sick gains. And that's why there is an accumulation plan in place for myself in terms of a bull market. That's partly what that looks like. But back to the 70, 75 line here. Let's talk about this. coming out of the last bear market, right? We were just talking about it. Coming out of last bear market back here, what was Bitcoin doing on the RSI? It was coming out of that oversold area, right? And it was coming up and it saw resistance. The first thing it did on the RSI is it didn't go crazy parabolic. Like, it didn't go crazy overbought. We didn't hit this green rectangle up here on the RSI. We saw resistance at the 70, 75 area, right? And you can see it on the screen. Back here, resistance at that white line that I have drawn on the screen. Interestingly enough, what's happening right now, we've seen some amazing gains for Bitcoin out of the last bear market, similar to, or out of this most previous bear market, similar to that last 2015 bear market. And you can see, so far, it's kind of, we're getting a little resistance. We're not like heavily breaking through that 70 to 75 area on the RSI. And I think that's very telling, right? It's in terms of momentum, that first area of potential resistance. And just so happens that the charts these days are set at 9,000. So we're getting this resistance in the 70, 75 area on the RSI at the $9,000 area. And you can see it, right? We've tested $9,000 in the previous couple weeks. And it's very similar to this resistance at the $70 to $75 or 70 to 75 area on the RSI resistance coming out of that last bear market. So the price point there, where that resistance wasn't $9,000. It was like $475 or something like that, right? It's that area where Bitcoin was seeing resistance. People then, if we were doing videos, we could be like, man, Bitcoin's making a run for 500. Like, let's do a $500 Bitcoin video, right? Let's track this live and look at the resistance on the weekly chart. This is the weekly chart. So you can imagine if you're looking at the daily or the 4-hour, you know, the resistance that you're going to see here at this $470 area just below 500, and the resistance at this 70 to 75 area on the RSI. Very similar. In that time, Bitcoin, if you look at the stock RSI, also hanging out in that overbought area. And if we go to where we are now on the charts, 9,000, it's like $9,000 is the new $475, right? And same thing, overbought on the stock RSI. Now, what ultimately happened in that 2015 bear market? Coming out of that bear market, what ultimately happened is that resistance was actually the precursor, and it was the data that generated this very bullish ascending triangle that we talked about, right? Here's that ascending triangle, bullish continuation pattern. Bitcoin went crazy and entered the bull market. I'm anticipating something similar, right? Maybe we'll break $9,000 tonight. I would love that. And we don't have that like very, very bullish continuation pattern just yet. However, resistance at 9,000 doesn't necessarily need to be a terrible thing, because resistance at 500 or slightly below in that last market was actually a very bullish thing if you're looking back at the charts. And if you had patience and if you actually were accumulating in that time, you can see the breakout area of this symmetrical or this ascending triangle was around the 475, right? Some quick 70% gains, right? Consolidation all the way back down, retesting that $475 area, and a bounce into the bull market. And the bounce into the bull market equated to over 4,000% gains in the bull market. Now, we're telling a similar story right now, and we're at $9,000. We have another halving a year away. We have the amount of circulated Bitcoin, right, being cut in half. That is being created and mined. And we have this question of supply and demand in play, and we're at $9,000. We're not at $475. I'm not sitting here saying, you know, from this bull market that means we're going to get 4,000% gains, although I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't chart that, because that's extremely fun to chart a similar setup. That's a $360,000 Bitcoin. I'm not sitting here saying that. We see that gains, even parabolic gains, get less and less over time, and that's fine. However, $9,000 is just the beginning. It's illustrated really nicely on this weekly chart. If you combine the last bear market data we have, if you combine the RSI resistance data that we have in that last bear market, if you even look at the RSI average across the last bull market, right? we're entering something extremely strong and bullish. It just might require some patience. Crypto Nana 50/50 LTC raffle at everythinglitecoin.com. Gonna definitely bring that up, Crypto Nana. Appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat for Launchpad Foundation. You're the best. That's the weekly chart. Ton of data on there if you're here in Bitcoin and you're long. The daily chart real quick, and then you see a note on the screen. It says 4-hour May 9th RSI. We're going to look at that. Here's the daily. There's different things going on in the daily right now. Thank you for the $1 super chat. Less is more 87. Appreciate you being here again. Thank you so much for your support. The thing I want to talk about on this chart, the daily, is kind of real quick. We have these series of rising wedges, right? That rising wedge isn't the most bullish of bullish things. However, in a bullish Bitcoin environment, it really doesn't matter. A rising wedge can always break to the upside. Just because it's a rising wedge and it's more of a bearish pattern doesn't mean it always breaks bearish. It just means more often than not, it does break bearish. Now, what's happened is we've gotten kind of these potentially false breakouts. We got a definite false breakout in this last rising wedge in the end of April, right? Which led us into a huge gain for Bitcoin. Nice move for Bitcoin as we had that busted rising wedge. We're going to look at what that looked like on the 4-hour chart because there's definitely some data there we need to look at. But then we fell into another rising wedge, and we have a similar thing, break into to the downside. Is it a false breakout to the downside? Is it going to be a busted falling wedge? Well, we have potential of it, right? We definitely want to revisit the lower trend line to see if we get resistance there. However, if we break that lower trend line, I don't know if it's coming soon or not, but if we break it, we have a huge bullish target to like $12,000, right? There's a ton of bullish upside for Bitcoin right now. I think there are people charting what I want to see, which is an ascending triangle, right? Taking this swing high to 9,000 and potentially creating a line here, but actually extending it back here. I'm going to change the color here because I want to talk about this. And there's the upper trend line, and then they have a lower trend line extending from this huge swing low, which this wick on this daily candle is very difficult for me to work with. I just don't like it because it was so quick. It was so random. But we're going to use it anyway, especially since for purpose of what I'm saying, a lot of people are using it, it seems. Swing low, May 17th, right? Here we got another swing low down here. You take that and you have a potential ascending triangle in play. That's the bullish continuation pattern I want. I'm having trouble doing that because, number one, it's hard for me to extend the upper trend line out to here, and it's hard for me at the same time to use this data down here if there's actually nothing happening up here, right? It's kind of like a false upper trend line. It's not real because nothing has happened there. And then this wick here is just so unreliable in my opinion. So it's really hard for me to take all the data within this range back here and say there's a beginning of our ascending triangle. As much as I would want to, it's really hard to do that. But I mean, what we could do is we could have a potential ascending triangle bullish pattern. We can have it potentially starting right now, right? Starting back here instead. May 30th. This could be our first touch to the upper trend line. Right now, we might be getting our second touch, a much needed second touch to actually be able to chart an ascending triangle. We could be getting that resistance here in the $9,000, $9,100 area and coming back down, right? For a new swing low. We could have a higher low right down here, $8,100, $8,200, $8,300, and we could have an ascending triangle in play where we have to wait maybe another week and a half, 2 weeks for an actual breakout above $9,000, right? Anticipate it. There's so many different things that can happen, everybody, and this is one of them, right? So anticipate it. However, if you want to really talk about what's going on now, which I'm sure you do, this is a live video talking about Bitcoin potentially breaking 9,000. You want to watch the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, here's what we got. I compared this the other day on Twitter. I think I have the tweet up. Yeah, Bitcoin makes a similar move to May 9th, then blast off through 10K. And here's what it looks like. There's Litecoin. So let's see, how do we want to do this? First off, I'm comparing this area back here to where we are now right here. So let's first look at back here, right? So May 9th, we had just kind of this slow upward trend, nothing crazy happening for Bitcoin at that point. But here's what we're looking at on the 4-hour. We want to look at the RSI. What was the RSI doing right there around May 9th? Well, it's not the most bullish looking like setup where we're about to see 20-30% gains. That's for sure, right? Bitcoin on the 4-hour all the way up here, pretty in that, overbought territory, getting very close to just being too overbought, right? And you might be saying, I'd rather accumulate and do something crazy, buy a bunch of Bitcoin down here, not right here. But what we do is we see what actually happened in terms of Bitcoin. And the other thing I want to just point out to you was this is the RSI. This is a slower moving momentum oscillator. Here's the stock RSI. So at that time, Bitcoin just hanging out on the 4-hour chart in that overbought area, essentially, right? So May 11th back to like May 7th. So 4 days or so, just really hanging out with one consolidation phase on looks like May 7th, May 8th, but in that overbought area for a while. So kind of overbought on the RSI, kind of overbought on the stock RSI, MACD, a little bit of upward momentum. And then what happened? Let's open up the chart a little bit and just kind of see. We had this last little consolidation phase, 8 hours of consolidation or so, and then boom, look at Bitcoin to its, first swing high, 25%, little consolidation, and then final swing high, let's just call it 39-40%. So Bitcoin on the 4-hour was chilling at overbought on the stock RSI, overbought on the RSI. Already saw some gains, right, in the previous days. We can take it from here to there, 12% gains. Many people looking at the chart would think, maybe some consolidation is in play, right? Just a little, nothing crazy, but sideways consolidation, maybe some stronger consolidation, but it didn't happen. This is one of those instances where Bitcoin was just like, it doesn't care what the RSI is doing on the 4-hour, and it's going to do what it wants. Now, there's a lot of similarities in terms of what Bitcoin has been doing now on the 4-hour, which is this slow growth of higher highs and higher lows in a very tight range, right? And along that way, we had the 50 moving average kind of just coming down to meet the 200 moving average on the 4-hour at that time until we got the massive breakout. And then similarly, in this tight range of higher highs and higher lows, Bitcoin, same thing, 50 moving average actually coming below the 200 moving average. And right now, on the 4-hour, breaking above the 200 moving average. We're getting 50 moving average cross above the 200 moving average. That is bullish on the 4-hour, right? And this is what I'm saying. You have kind of this mix of some bullish indicators, some bearish indicators. But when we're really looking at the data of what happened back here, there's our first similarity, right? The consolidation of the 50 moving average to 200 and then the separation of the two, right? Same thing, consolidation 50 moving average. And now we're getting, incredibly tight separation, but it's just starting, the separation. That's number one. And number two, the similarities. Look where we just talked about this, the RSI back here on May 9th was, and look where the RSI is here. Again, not the most bullish where you're just like, man, there's so much momentum to the upside in play right now for Bitcoin. Look at the RSI. No, you say something like that on the 4-hour when it's down here. Look at the upside. Right now, we're not there, but we are pretty much exactly where we were on May 9th, right back here, when Bitcoin had its 40% gains, was getting ready to see some 40% gains. So that's number 2. Number 3, look at the stock RSI, quicker moving momentum oscillator. What's Bitcoin doing? I mean, just look at this. Look at the similarities. Close to the overbought, but look at it. Here's May 9th. That's what it looked like May 9th. You see the similarities there. I don't know if my screen is... I have a pretty big screen, so I'm pretty sure you can see everything I'm doing. Ton of similarities on Bitcoin, on the stock RSI. And then number 4, I think this is the 4th point. Look at the MACD. Look at the MACD momentum of what Bitcoin is doing. And I think that I'll open up. So let's just mark real quick where May 9th is. May 9th is like right there. Let's open up the MACD. So here's May 9th, right? Upward momentum, Bitcoin, MACD line above the signal line, and just here's the 40% gains. Boom. And now where are we? MACD line above the signal line, just upward momentum kind of already in play. We have the 50 moving average cross above the 200 moving average. Just happened. When did that happen? That was today. So we have that cross just today on the 4-hour, and so I guess what I'm trying to say is if Bitcoin can manage for, the bulls really step in here, there is plenty of room on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin gains. We saw it happen here. This is the daily chart now, but 4-hour charts look almost identical at this time. Look at the daily chart. I mean, if I can open up the daily chart. So I just deleted my RSI. Okay. Hold on, everybody. I should change the color of that too. Maybe white. That's better. So RSI, May 9th, same thing. Where are we in the daily? We have plenty of room on the daily chart, right? We're not in that overbought territory. We have upward momentum on the stock RSI. We have on the daily chart, MACD bullish cross just above the signal line. As of today, I think this was today, we're above the 0 on the histogram. This is pretty much all this stuff I'm throwing at you is why I'm saying I'd say it's really 70% more bullish right now than bearish. And, right now it's just all we can do is wait to see if we get a positive breakout. My biggest thing that I want to see is a 4-hour close above $9,000. Not sure if we're going to get it again. If we get resistance here tonight at 9,000, this could be a bullish pattern potentially setting up and in play, right? This could just be a swing high. We might be seeing a swing low next, and then we have this bullish pattern we can start tracking and talking about. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. I wanted to talk about it. I was hoping, I would go live and then, the bulls would just be like, Dan's live. Let's break $9,000. Let's give him a fun live stream. But it didn't happen. It's not what happened. Let's see. Someone's saying $100,000 this year. I don't think we'll see $100,000. Tech Lords is saying $100,000 minimum end of year. Tech Lords, you're crazy, man. I love Tech Lords. He's so bullish all the time. It just fires me up. He's so much more bullish than I am. I'm extremely bullish, but he's like, his timeline of bullishness is just massively quicker than mine. And that's why I like it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever went live when we're getting ready to potentially make a nice move and it actually happens. It's never happens. And sometimes it feels like just because I went live, it stopped it. I know it's not true. But I'll stop this live stream and then something will happen. Watch. Just watch. Litecoin, I don't know what Litecoin's doing. It's taking a break. It's taking a breather. I mean, what was that last daily candle? That last daily green. It's a nice little 5% candle on the daily. What I was enjoying about Litecoin is this. And that's why I have the Litecoin charts. David Schwartz, what's up, dude? Dan brought it under $9,000. Probably. I'm telling you, if I get off this live stream, David, it's gonna go back above $9,000. Can't wait to see you, bro. So we had these bullish continuation patterns. You know, it was like perfect harmony in the charts as it's happening. And you can even see, even back here, I don't even have this charted, but just this wedge, you know, falling wedge. Awesome. Boom. Into a symmetrical triangle. Boom. Into a symmetrical triangle. Boom. Hit our targets. Like, it's just, if you say technical analysis does not work, it's, you know, I disagree with you for many reasons. But now what's happening is, it's not necessarily a bad thing, everybody, but we fell into, at least right now, we've fallen into a more bearish pattern on the daily chart, and it's very immature of a pattern, but potentially kind of like this descending triangle. Could be a reversal pattern for Litecoin with the target to like the 115 area. It's on my charts. I'm just sharing it with you. I didn't make the rules of patterns up, but I track them. The Unpossible, $5 super chat. Hey man, I catch all you and Chris M's videos each day. Great insights, my dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate that very much. Chris M is, I think I know who you're talking about. I'm pretty sure this is the dude I'm thinking of. I think he covers a lot of Litecoin. Very even-keeled dude. He's got a good head on his shoulders, I think, in terms of charts, and he's well-spoken. I think I know who you're talking about. But thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. And Litecoin. If we retrace to 115, I did a video the other day about a 50% retracement, the possibilities of it, right? And it's truly possible. I'm not going to talk about that in this video. I'm just talking about the short term, what we're looking at. We have a potential descending triangle here, and it's on the screen. This could break to the upside. It really could. However, it's very interesting right now to see Bitcoin kind of has been making some moves. It's nothing new in this world of cryptocurrency, especially when Litecoin takes off first. It almost always gives Bitcoin the chance to catch up. And if you zoom out on the daily chart of Litecoin right now, which we'll do, I just want to show you. Many of you probably know this. Bear market bottom. Swing high the other day. 554% gains. Believe it or not, sometimes I see comments that are like, Litecoin, why are you not doing anything? And I don't know if they're like looking at the minute chart. I don't know what they're looking at, but I really would love to have a conversation with one of these people that's just commenting why Litecoin's not doing anything. Like, show me an investment vehicle where you can be up 550% since December, and it's like kind of just the beginning of something. And it's not doing anything, some people say. Peter Marchica, dollar super chat. Excuse me, thank you. Everybody. This is watermelon and cucumber, fresh squeezed. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, I'm just giving you a tip. I do a lot of like juicing and stuff. Excuse me while I take a sip. But it is good stuff. And is extremely healthy and good for you. Kenny Andrews, super chat, $2. Here's another super chat. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate you. So 550% Bitcoin. That's a 4 hour. Let's zoom out. Bitcoin up for the year so far? 191%. So if Litecoin's just chilling for a second to let Bitcoin do its thing, it's not terrible. And it's not the first time that it happened. Just wanted to throw that out there. LTCBTC, I know we got some Litecoin people in here, so I want to talk about this. LTCBTC, if Litecoin's going to consolidate against Bitcoin, I'm totally cool with it. I'm totally patient with it. I don't need Litecoin to be a quarter of a Bitcoin today. Not exactly sure it'll ever be a quarter of a Bitcoin. But one thing I know is this. Over time, the dominance of Litecoin will catch up to Bitcoin. I'm fairly confident. And actually, the charts are kind of hinting that that shift might be beginning. But on the short term, I have the 4-hour chart up. I just want to show you something. This is not financial advice. I don't trade Litecoin for Bitcoin or Bitcoin for Litecoin. I don't do that. I accumulate both. I accumulate both when I want to buy. That's my approach. I don't propose that you start trading. But right now we have potential pullback on the LTC BTC pair. It's very clear on the charts. Whether you're looking at the daily or the 4-hour, here's the 4-hour. You see similarities right off the bat, right? You kind of have this first swing high and then consolidation. We had another swing high, and this is back in April, by the way. And this was it. Bitcoin, or Litecoin saw some deep consolidation against Bitcoin from that area. 42%, right? So right now what's happening is we kind of have another swing high that we've seen since a swing low in May, 61%, right? And we're seeing a swing high. And essentially what we're seeing is a lower high. And with that, we have to anticipate further downside. We saw right here on this chart, Litecoin just kind of wrapping around, seeing some resistance here at the 50 moving average. And that was the beginning of that shift in Litecoin momentum and dominance versus Bitcoin. And we're getting a very similar move here with this resistance here at the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart, right? So you have to be prepared for further downside in terms of LTC BTC. And a lot of that has to do with Litecoin, is kind of just trading more sideways as Bitcoin is dominating and Bitcoin is making a move. You got to remember, Litecoin is up 550% since December. Bitcoin's up like not even 200, right? So if we see like these shifts, then it's okay, right? It's healthy. If you go to the daily chart, and this is what I was talking about in potential shift in terms of Litecoin dominance against Bitcoin, here's what we have on that chart. You can see these series of higher. You can see these series of higher lows here since January 2017. If you don't, some people do, some people don't. I have it here because it's fun to kind of track. But if you look at the actual close on the daily charts, you have a potential inverse head and shoulders in play. It's very tight, it's very close, but I have it charted because it totally could play out. But if you look at the extension of this right shoulder here, here's the consolidation phase that we just talked about. So even Litecoin coming down to 0.012, and we see loss on the LTC BTC pair from swing high, 28, 30% losses, we still have this potential right shoulder in play, right? And I did a video about $1,000 Litecoin like last week or so, beginning of the week. And this was part of that. It had a lot to do with Litecoin being worth 0.02 BTC. And we charted the whole thing. We talked about it. And this could be the precursor to Litecoin dominance. I forget what, I think that was in terms of a $50,000 Bitcoin. And Litecoin dominance rising could be a potential breakout on this pattern, right? And you see the breakout target for this is up here in the 0.05. That could be the story for Litecoin ahead. And we're talking that'll take some time. This isn't like happening tomorrow. This isn't happening next month. And this probably might not even be happening this year, right? This target here, I place it there, but that's not really where it is. It could be anywhere. It could be over here in 2020 of April, right? But there's definitely bullish setup potential for Litecoin on the LTCBTC pair. I wanted to talk about that. What I want to also talk about is this real quick. Throw this out there if you're familiar with the Facebook news, their Libra coin. I tweeted yesterday, I said no one knows the exact impact Facebook's Libra coin will have on Bitcoin. All I know is that 2.5 billion people use Facebook apps, and a huge door is being built for those people to enter our Bitcoin world. Who cares what color the door is or what name is on the door as long as it opens? Those are my thoughts. I don't know what's going to come out of this Facebook coin. I don't want to say I don't care, because I do care, and this is partly why I care. This is a huge doorway being opened and built for people to get into cryptocurrency, and I truly believe these people are going to be like, wait a second, Facebook coin, Libra coin is stupid. Bitcoin, which I'm now familiar with, is way better, and so is Litecoin. That's what I think is going to happen. And time will tell. Like, I don't know how the story is going to play out, but that's just what I think. It's kind of like Facebook is doing a huge favor for us, right? In my opinion. And just because they're creating something does not mean that it's bound to work and it's bound to be amazing. Some people are saying Bitcoin or Libra coin will take over Bitcoin, and it's some of the most insane nonsense I've ever heard. That's not going to happen. Let's see. What I want to do, I'm going to go to Rob D's page. And he has everythinglitecoin.com. And I click the LPAL. I don't want to do that. Let's just go to his homepage. I do want to give a shout out, and I'll put a link here. Everybody, this is a chance for you. If you're here, you win some Litecoin, and you can do it with $5, and you can win a good amount. Rob did this for LAUNCHPAD Foundation. We raised like 20 or 21 Litecoin. Half of that went to our LAUNCHPAD Foundation. Rob's doing the same thing again for Litecoin Lisa, teammighty.org. Help Litecoin Lisa on her quest to help those who lift up foster care, adoption, organ donation, cancer fighting, special needs, medically fragile, and all those that care for them. So again, Rob's doing this, running this. Not exactly sure how much has been raised right now. I don't know what's in the pot. Maybe somebody in the chat does, but everythinglitecoin.com, I just put a link in the description. You can go buy $5. You can enter to win it, right? So literally, in the last one, somebody won half of the 21 Litecoin. We're talking, they won over $1,000. And all it takes is $5 to get one entry to win. Right now, Steven says, thanks, Steven, it is a little over 10 Litecoin. And again, Steven, one of these guys working closely with Rob on some of this stuff. Awesome dude. Poseidon Lou, Benjamin. A bunch of cool people involved. So go get a ticket. Go sign up. I still gotta buy some of mine. I don't know if I should. I don't know how much I'm gonna buy. I might just go crazy. I want to win some Litecoin, and I want to help Litecoin Lisa. So wanted to throw that out there. Everybody, let's see what happens. Bitcoin, thanks a lot. I went live for you to break $9,000 epically while I'm on this live stream, and you failed me. You've 100% failed me. I want to do this, though it doesn't matter. I totally called out Charlie Lee yesterday. There's a bug on my computer. Charlie Lee, thanks, dude. I love you, man. I felt so bad after I tweeted. I was like, that was a jerky move. Because I tweeted, I said, it's been a year and a half, hundreds of videos covering Litecoin, and I still have not gotten Charlie to follow me. I failed as a YouTuber. And then I saw that he followed me shortly after that tweet. I pitied him into following me. I feel like a loser. I feel like a jerk. But I love Charlie, man. I love Charlie. I'm going to shill right now. Since I'm on a shilling spree. Real quick, if you're still here. Litecoin Summit. Link. Everybody. October 20th, 29th. I will be there. I'll be on a panel with Joakim, John Moore. Mass adoption panel. And I really want to meet so many of you. As many as I can. I know some of you are going. I hope you can think about going. Litecoin Summit 2019 is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be fun. And some cool people. I hope I can see you there. I wanted to just put a link out there. I'll probably be talking about it more and more as it gets closer. I will say this. In terms of tickets, they're $250 a ticket right now because they're super early bird. Be a super early bird and get a super early bird ticket because they go up to $300 and then they go to $350. Obviously, they're not on sale yet. Right now, you can get them for $250 and extremely affordable in terms of what's offered there. And just, it's going to be fun. I'm telling you. Sarah, David Schwartz says, and Sarah will be there. Sarah, my wife, will be there. Actually, it's most exciting. Yes, Crypto Capital Venture will be there, but what is most exciting is Sarah will be there. Not me. Sarah. Sarah is the spotlight of Crypto Capital Venture. She is the force behind me as I do these videos. And I run our firm. She's the invisible force, and she is behind me. Do you hear her? I'm not kissing up to you or anything, babe. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to give you a shout out.
Thanks, babe.
She's literally behind the green screen. But yeah, we want to meet you. Sarah wants to meet you. We met some of you last year. This year's going to be, I feel like, even more epic. 133 days away. I don't know, everybody. I'm excited. I've got a lot of energy. We're at the very beginning of something beautiful. Bitcoin's about to break 9,000. Litecoin's 136. Litecoin Summit's coming. David Schwartz is in the chats. Steven Herzog is here. I mean, I'm just excited. I don't even know what to say. I need to log off. I need to go spend time with my wife. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you have an amazing weekend, an amazing rest of your Saturday. Let's track it. I'll track it on Twitter if we break 9K. I'm sure we will once I end this live stream. So I'm going to just press stop streaming. I'm going to let the bulls do their thing. And then I'll see you on the other side above 9,000. How about that? Thank you for coming. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless.